Easy if you ask me. Let me see. Or would you walk away? It's so beautiful to me. I'll put these little bops. Oh, here we go. Casey. There we go. Casey Morris.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, what's up?
What's up?
Man, I dropped the ball, but I'm glad that you still available.
Yes.
I'm excited to do this.
Me too.
How
It's
you
different.
doing today?
I'm doing good. You know, I've been kind of busy with work, but I'm good. I was waiting for this, and I was like, oh, I bet he messed up these times because I'm in California, he in Texas, but we got it.
Yeah, you gotta
How
stay
are
on me, yo. I'm sorry, but I'm good. My niece just graduated from first grade,
Yay.
so that's exciting. Yeah, so that's like an exciting day
Yeah.
for us. And I'm just in off season, and just slowly kind of getting back to like working and doing my podcast and like creating content and stuff like that.
Well, I'm glad to be here. I'm excited.
Yeah. So let me introduce everybody to Dr. Casey Morris, former athlete, Texas Tech alumni, and now you are an author.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
So how did that come about?
Man, so I've always wanted to do like writing and kids books. So for me, it's not really hard to like write kids books because I did my dissertation for my PhD. So this is fun writing for me. And I have a 5-year-old, so she has all these great ideas. And so it's kind of easy to write because she just says something and I'm like, oh my gosh, I could write a book about that. I love that. So it's kind of easy. And I always wanted to do it. So I kind of checked it off my list recently. So I'm happy I did it.
Yeah. And the book is called The Playground Queen?
Yep, that's right. The Playground Queen.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about the book?
Of course, I would love to. So the book is it's kind of deep. So this past year we had COVID-19 and that made it so we all had to be indoors and around our family a lot. And our kids heard a lot about our opinions. So that, you know, having to do with like divisiveness and, you know, social injustice. They saw George Floyd and a lot of stuff was things that kids really weren't used to seeing on TV. So they were having conversations with people and about things that they normally wouldn't have conversations about. So this book is really about like if they were to have an experience like that. The little girl named Kaya is a Black young girl. She goes to school. And when she goes to school, she has a friend, a white boyfriend that's like on her Zoom calls in class and we're all social distancing. And then they go back to class and he doesn't want to be her friend anymore. So she has to learn how to deal with that peer and social rejection. And so her community, Black and brown kids, lift her up and make her feel special again. And she was really shy, but then when they lifted her up, she felt better. And then by the end of the book, she had the strength to be the little white kid's friend again and forgive him pretty much. And then she was at the top of the pyramid and felt like a queen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I read a lot. So your daughter is 5.
Yep.
Right. My niece is 6 years old.
I love that.
So that's like right in the same realm.
Yeah.
What is she in first grade?
No, she's not even in kindergarten yet. So she just turned 5 in January. So in September she'll go to kindergarten. So she's getting ready for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, as an uncle, I try to like stay hip to like the things that she likes. So I catch myself like watching like all of these kids movies, Paw Patrol, Descendants. Like I try to watch what she watches and stuff like that. Kids, like children's like movies and books like that, to me, like it's always like a message, like how you say about Kaya. Like it's always like a message for me to kind of like take away.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure. I don't know
yeah.
if you've seen. We were just talking about it. What's the movie with like the little bunny rabbit in it? And what is that movie called?
It's a kids movie.
Zootopia. Yeah, it's like a kid.
I haven't seen Zootopia yet.
Oh, okay. There's so many messages in that book, and it's kind of similar. Like there's always something a kid can take away, and when they're younger, they may not understand it, but it's good for them to learn about it because eventually they'll know it's important. So I try to introduce it to them earlier than later.
That's dope. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about was like, I think we spoke about like being an athlete and then like not really knowing like who to turn to, but like this unique opportunity, because my friend is a doctor, I can turn to her. So like I started my podcast. I think you were at Tech. I'm not sure if you had left or not, but like my dad passed, and then were you there?
Yep, I was there. I remember that.
Yeah, so you were there, and it was just like it was a really hard experience for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't really understand like what was going on, like how to deal with it, how to cope with it, or anything like that. I was seeing a therapist at the time, but I wasn't like, my emotional intelligence like wasn't developed at all. You know what I mean? And I know that like I can't be like the only one that dealt with stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
Like even at your time during Tech, like was it anything that like happened to you, like while you were there?
I mean, yeah, I think that we all have losses, but for you personally, I remember when that happened to you, and like I don't know if you knew, but other athletes knew about it. And so it was like hard because like we wanted to probably like all hold you and stuff, like be like, oh, JT, come here, like I want to hold you and all this. But like when we're younger, it's kind of hard to know how to do that. So we're all like, okay, like do I make eye contact? Do I not? Like do I go up and give him a hug? Because we're not mature enough to know that. So I was just talking about that actually, about just mental health, like knowing we all go through stuff. And when we're young as athletes and we have all these responsibilities, it's super hard to be able to navigate, like, when you need to break, like, when you need to get away from it. Because I saw you still in the gym right after it happened. And I was like, oh, how's he doing this? I was like, I just want to go over there and be like, JT, like, come here, let's just, but it's just hard to know, really, like, what somebody needs. Like, for you, it may have been like you felt better when you were in the gym or something. But I for sure have lost people. You know, I lost grandparents. And really, after I was done playing is when I had like my hardest losses. So my grandmother was like the person that held us all together, and I was going through some other stuff in my life. So I'm a single mom, so I was moving back home and, you know, doing it by myself and making sure, and something happened where it was like unexpected, of course, for me and my family. So I drove back from Texas to California, and then right when I came back, my grandmother had Alzheimer's, so she was like, you know, deteriorating with time, and I really didn't know it was that bad. But then eventually I can see she was like, we were losing her. And then I had a loss. So that was like two like tough situations. And so I was kind of numb throughout that experience. And you really don't deal with it until you step back and like take some time to really think about what happened and what you've been through. So I felt for you for sure. You were strong as hell too.
Man, I was like, I tell people all the time, like I was, like you said, I was numb. And, I don't like to like believe in regret, but like one of like my biggest regrets is like leaving Tech. But it all just happened fast. Like Dallas was closer, SMU was like a lot closer to my family. I just felt like it was like the right thing to do. But I definitely was finding myself at Texas Tech.
Surprised you.
It was just fun. It was fun down there. It's different.
It is, yeah. I was surprised you left because you were doing so well, but also I understood, like, you know, you got to do what's right for your family, so don't have regrets. And, you know, everything happens you're in a position right now where you're doing great in basketball. You have these opportunities that a lot of people don't have. So, you know, things happen for a reason, even though they're like hurdles, where at the time it's like, it's hard to think that things happen for a reason because it's so negative at that time. But think about where you are in comparison to some of your peers, like people that had been through other things. Like, you're a black man doing great things. Like, give yourself some props because that's huge.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, man, I gotta brag on you. So, like, you're a doctor.
Yes.
You're a doctor. Now, like, come on, now. You're a doctor. What went into like that whole process to become a doctor?
Man, I didn't know I wanted to do this, so I was actually like, I went through that same feeling. Like as a student athlete, you feel like something's missing. So, like, you know, when you're done playing sports, I actually got injured. I don't know if you knew this, but I was injured when I was a junior. I hurt my ankle. I, like, hit it on both sides of the floor, but I kept playing on it. And so at the end of my senior season, I got surgery. And he pretty much was like, you know, if you want to ever have kids and play with your kids, you probably should hang your shoes up. So I just had to make a decision at that point. And so I stopped playing, and I had plans to play further. But had to go through some jobs I hated. Like, I hated some jobs I had, but it was all for character building, so I appreciate it now looking back. But yeah, I started working for the university, and then after I started working there, I was like, I want to be in the highest position I could be. So I like knew by doing that I had to get like a doctorate degree or something. So I went to go get my doctorate, and as I was doing that, you know, that tragic situation in my life happened, and then ended up having to like take off a year, and then I finished it when I had my baby. So I think she was maybe 1 when I graduated, not even 1 when I walked the stage. So that was my plan, for her to like be able to experience it and see it. So I did it, and it's done now. So now I'm just moving forward.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's dope. I mean, to me, that's just a really big deal.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often. I think I know one other doctor. She's also a female.
I love that.
Yeah. That's just a big deal. To an athlete, like definitely like myself, like after basketball or whatever sport that we play, it's like, shit, we don't know. We kind of don't know where to turn or like what to do outside of sports, and that's like a very difficult transition because like everything is good like while you at school, while you playing, but like when it's over, like it's over.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's cold. It's like a cold world.
For sure.
Just in my experience, like it's like it turns into like people kind of worried about like job security and things like that, and like they kind of see you as a threat. So yeah, in my experience, it was like a very hard transition, and I still don't necessarily know what I want to do, but like I try to like I tell myself to go in the direction of my calling, and I feel like mental health is kind of something that I can see myself doing forever.
Yeah.
I don't know in like what regard. I don't think I want to be like a therapist or a counselor. I would rather just like speak. Like speaking don't really bother me.
Yeah, I mean, and you might end up doing something where like you find a different opportunity from what you're doing. Like if you present or something and you end up talking to a group of students, and a professor sees you speaking or an administrator sees you speaking, and they're like, I want you to build this relationship with these other student athletes who have this same experience as you. You can become like a person that's getting paid to essentially mentor student athletes and walk them through that transition. So there's so many opportunities. And I think it's all about like keeping those relationships good that you have. So like when we play, they tell us like, you know, make sure you meet your donors and stuff and it's like, whatever. Like when I leave here, they're not about to do nothing for me. Like, you know, you leave the university, you don't hear nothing from your coaches, or like, it's like, all right, on to the next student athlete. But when you become like an adult and you're your own person with your own identity, you have the opportunity to like really take into consideration who you're building relationships with, and you know, making sure those relationships are genuine, because that's really what's going to put you forward in the end. Like if you can call somebody and be like, remember I talked to you about this, like this mental health issue. Remember I talked to you that I wanted to do this kind of stuff. And he's like, oh yeah, I know some people you can talk to. And those people might know somebody else. So that network you start building is going to be huge.
That's true. It all of it started at Tech though. So I'm at Tech, and this is like back when like it wasn't cool to be smart. You know, athletes like we not. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't cool. But I just had like a problem speaking in front of people. I had like a big fear, and I took a speech class at Texas Tech.
Oh, really?
And, and I was like, man, like let me just give my best. Like, let me just give my best in this class. And like, I ended up being one of the best in the class. I was like, damn, like this is not hard as I expected. You know
You're
what I'm
hella
saying?
good at it. Like, well,
Yeah.
I'm surprised because I remember like.
See, like when I wasn't like talking.
You were hella
Exactly.
shy. I was
Exactly.
like, oh, JT never about to. That's why when you lost your dad, I was like, what does he want me to say to him? Like, does he need, even though like I know he's really quiet, does he want somebody to come up to him? Like, it was all that stuff because it was like, and some people are just like laid back, and I know you were hella laid back when you were at Tech, so I was like, he probably just doesn't want to be bothered or whatever. But look how you speak now. Like, you're hella confident. That's good. I'm glad you found like your calling, because a lot of people, even me, like as a PhD, when I speak in front of people at meetings, I get super nervous. Like, I hate it. I get nervous, but I try like people that listen say they couldn't tell I was nervous. But to be honest, I'm like, I gotta like breathe. Like, let me
think
breathe.
so? Let me get a doctor by my name. They're gonna get sick of me.
Right?
They're gonna get sick of. They're gonna tell me to shut up, yo. For real.
Man, I do not like it, and it depends like what group is there. But I mean, everybody public speaking is a huge talent. So to have that already you're a step ahead.
True. Do you ever go and like speak at the school?
Like different schools around me?
Yeah.
I have spoken for like student athletes and stuff who I've known, but right now I'm in my career is in I'm a technology consultant. So I do a lot of stuff with like technology and like helping with mostly like understanding inclusion and diversity and trying to help with like bridging that equity, the divide that we see right now. So like that's really my passion. So unless a school needs help with that kind of stuff, I'm really not called upon, but I would love to, because I feel like every time I talk, I make a new connection. Like I was telling you about, whether that's like a parent, when I was playing, I never really had like somebody I was recruited by like pretty like bigger schools. So my parents weren't ready for that. So I never really had somebody who was like, you should do this, this, and that, or, think about this, this, and that. And I would love to be that person to like be there for students who are just, you get hella juiced, excited about going to college. And sometimes you make a decision before thinking it through. So, I love to be that person and be like a mentor, and I always offer myself, but I haven't spoken at as many as I want to. I moved to Sacramento, so I was like in the open area before, but trying to build my network out here now in Sac. So
I would encourage you too. I read to Chloe's kindergarten class, I guess. Mm-hmm. And it was just a cool experience. Like I doubt that they remember like one thing that I said, but like I just got to kick it with them and like just see, like, as adults we overcomplicate everything. And, for real, like, yeah. A child, it's like it's just 1, 2, 3. Like they just make everything like so simple. So it was real cool to me. Like, you have your own book. You know what I mean? Like, I would definitely like encourage you to do that.
For sure. I'm ready now, especially with this book. I'm like, I have a story to tell. Right. And I think, from what I've seen, kids really enjoy reading the book, and, they love the little empowerment at the end. And it's for both boys and girls. So, like, the main thing is that, it's okay for your community to come and make you feel better, because somebody might be feeling the same way you feel. It's good for adults, too, to be honest. Like, sometimes, like, right. Adults be fun. Sometimes, like, we have issues, and it's like, I don't want to talk to that person, or I'm going to let them be on their little island, when really all they needed was somebody to come and talk to them and just be like, how can I help? I'm in your community. I feel what you feel. I know I've been there before. Sometimes it only takes that to change somebody's whole, experience in their career or in life.
Yeah. I think the hardest part is, like, if you're trying to be a friend, to like, you don't want to like overstep that boundary and like invade their like privacy. But, in my experience, like, somebody, even when I was at Tech, somebody that kind of knew me, they did, like, they just was like, no, like, just sit down, like, we just about to talk. Yeah. And that was probably the moment that I felt like I was kind of going off my path, and they kind of brought me back to life. Yeah.
That's what's up. Was it like a student or like a person that
It was a student. It was a student. Yeah.
See, that's huge. Like, I didn't think that deep when I was playing. Like, I was for sure, like, you know how it is when you're an athlete and you're playing, you're trying to like kind of worry about your own path and the stuff you're going through. So that's huge. Whoever that was, kudos to them, because they were thinking forward.
Definitely. What's like the future for Dr. Casey Morris?
Well, I want to continue to write books. So I enjoy writing kids' books, and we'll see where life takes me as far as like my consultant technology career. I enjoy doing what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
I think for the most part, I want to make change so that we can give people like us, opportunities that we may not have. So a lot of times we hear like gaslighting, people are trying to make it seem like something's not an issue. Like we see all these white people in leadership positions, but we're still equal. And it's like, that doesn't even make sense. So I want to be the person to make sure that people get that opportunity for that opportunity to be able to exceed and excel in whatever career they want to go into. So if I'm doing that in some way, that normally makes me happy. So whatever that means to take that to the next level, that's what I want to be doing.
That's dope. So as an author, do you have a favorite author?
Man, that's a good question. I usually read books like that are like kind of more adult books. So I have favorite kids books that I read for my daughter. But to be honest, I'm not even about to lie to you. I don't remember the author's name, but but I have books that are like adult books that I like to read. Like Powernomics is one of the books that a lot of people don't know about, and it's by Dr. Claude Anderson. And it's
I
about,
know him.
Oh, you
I definitely know him. He was on the Breakfast Club.
Yes.
Oh, no doubt.
I love his book. His book like opened up so many eyes for me, and I appreciate that he's done the research. So a lot of times, people try to write books and say they know things about things, and they haven't even done the research yet. So I think that's more like because I've done that too, the research. But I appreciate people that take the time to use facts and statistics and say things that really are meaningful and can tell a story with that rather than somebody. And I think there's beauty too in creativity. I love that. But I love that he's able to tell a story with using statistics. So I appreciate him for that. And the book, if you haven't read it, you should, because it's life-changing for us, called Powernomics. Yep.
I put it on my list. I love to read. That's like, as I've gotten older, like reading is kind of one of the ways that I kind of like detach from my phone. I just detach from everything, quiet everything out, and just kind of, it grounds me. You know what I'm saying? Like it grounds me. And
for sure.
I enjoy it a lot.
I agree with you.
I never read in college. Like it was just, I was like, why would I waste my time? You know what I mean? But now, I'm pushing 30, so.
Oh, you're still young. Don't worry, sweetie.
It's weird. It's weird. It's weird, but it's fun though. I think it gets better as you get older. That's what
it does. It does. Yeah. And I feel like when we're in college, we think of it like as an assignment because we got to do it for like assignments and stuff when we do our reading and stuff. But when we get older, we can choose what we want to read and we can choose what kind of books we want to read. So education is power. So, that's why I love Malcolm X, because he said education is the passport to the future. And that's so true. So.
Okay. So you got a little activist in you too.
A little bit.
Yeah. I mean, you're from Cali, man. So I can't imagine it. What is that like to come from Cali to move to Texas?
I mean, first of all, let's not act like I moved to like Dallas or something. I was in Lubbock, Texas.
Country. Lubbock, it's not like people don't understand. It's nothing out there.
No, it's not like any other places in Texas. So, I mean, I loved how it was at like all of the sports games. So in California, like UC Berkeley is known for like its education. So I went to UC Berkeley my first year, and then I transferred to Texas Tech. And then when I got to Texas Tech, it was more about sports, but there was also some really good programs. Like they had a really good engineering program and all that stuff. But when I tell you like the fan support was crazy, you know how it is at Texas Tech. The fan support was really like what made me be like, this is different out here. Like it's a little different than what it was. So that's what I really loved about it. And I went there because the coaches just like stayed loyal. Like they kept recruiting me when I was done and I transferred. They were right there. The first ones at my door trying to get me to go to Texas Tech. So it just ended up being the right fit. I took my visit and I saw the facilities. Have you seen the facilities? The new ones?
I've seen the pictures. I haven't seen it in person,
crazy.
But I'm like,
neither.
I'm like, this is what y'all doing now?
Right.
This how y'all acting? But they turned up though. So they
did.
They turned up. So
yeah,
it's beautiful to see. Like I have to go see it for myself.
Me too. I haven't been out there, but I heard it was super, super nice. I've seen pictures too.
Yeah, the pictures look crazy. I have not been back. I went back once since I left.
Oh, really?
It just didn't feel right. I kind of felt like people thought I was a traitor, and you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
imposter syndrome a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the pictures look crazy.
I saw some players that like played with you when I was going to walk for my for my doctorate. I went out there to go get my doctorate. Yeah.
Look,
But I can't even
Tajik lives
remember.
there. Clark lives there. I believe he worked for the school. So
Okay.
yeah, some of them are out there.
This was a black dude. You mentioned a black dude. I know Clark lives there. I didn't see him when I was there. Did one of your old teammates, a black guy, live there?
Gocher? I think Gocher lives there. Tajik
Oh,
Gocher?
does he? Okay, I didn't see him.
I believe so. I could be wrong, but I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw somebody. I wish I remember it because I'd be able to tell you. But
Yo, what's your favorite memory of Lubbock?
Man, I mean, I feel like, the pool parties were something different. I mean, as a college student, my favorite memory probably like as a student athlete was we beat Baylor when they were #1. And that was really fun. So,
did y'all storm the court?
Yeah.
That's like one of the best experiences I ever had. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, storming the court. Oh.
Yeah. Yep, they stormed the court. It was so fun. And I think it was like years since they stormed the court at a women's game. So it was huge. Like, it was really fun. They had pictures and stuff hanging up from that game because everybody stormed the court. So that was a big moment. That was really fun.
That's dope. Dope.
What about you? What's your favorite memory from Tech?
Ooh, low key. So like on my visit, it was like a block party. And I was like, yo, this is college? They never had another party like that. When I got there, they never had another party like that. I'm like, really? But nah, definitely like storming the court. We beat OSU, storm the court. We beat Baylor, storm the court. Like you say, like just being around all the fans, like everybody hyped, everybody was turned. Like that was a good feeling.
Yeah, I love that too.
Yeah, looking back on it. Yeah, looking back. Just like the funny stories with like the little shit that the team would do. Like sometimes you get in trouble, like you know what I'm saying, like the day-to-day stuff, like with your teammates. Like, I think that's kind of some of the stuff that I miss, like the locker room stuff like that.
Yeah, we got one time and we had to run from the court to the club we were at because we got in trouble. So they made us run. Remember it was this one club we used to always go to, and we got in trouble. Somebody got in trouble at the club, and they made us run there and back over and over, and they just followed us in their cars while we ran.
That's tough. That's tough. See, like shit like that.
It's funny now, but at the time it was like, oh.
Yeah, that's what's up. I mean, being a woman, being a doctor, what was it like for you to see, Kamala Harris be the vice president? What did that feel like?
I mean, that was huge. I think it's huge to have the first Black woman vice president is huge, and woman vice president is huge. And then to have, like, your niece and my daughter, they could watch that. And so, if you ask her, who's the first Black president, she says Barack Obama. Who's the first vice president, who's a woman, she says Kamala Harris. And so to have our kids witness that and see that, that's the most important part to me because, they try to say, like, you can't be anything you can't see. And so to see that that's something that's a possibility, I really think about, like, the next generations and how we can make it better for them. So I think that's huge.
That's dope, man. Yeah, I always try to think about the next generation, man. I feel like it's like it's a little like divide. It's like a little gap between like the younger and the older generation. Like as I guess as I get older, like I don't like. I guess your taste changes. Like what you like and the things that you like take pleasure in, like it changes. And then you get older and then it changes again. But to me, like with what I'm trying to do, I have to try to make things like digestible. I feel like when
Yeah.
people hear the word like mental health, one, I don't know if like most people even know what that means.
Yeah.
Like straight up, like I just think like people are like, okay, like what is it? What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like finding different ways to like make it like digestible through like movies, like music, whatever. Music is one of the ways, like poetry and things
Mhm.
like that, to make it like rhyme. I feel like
Yeah.
that's I feel like I have to like entertain people to educate them. You know what I'm saying? Like if at first you have to entertain them first, or
Yeah.
they won't pay attention at all, and then
For
like make it kind of like educational.
For sure. They say like our generation, we're so used to having our phone that we have like attention span of like 30 seconds.
Right.
And so if they're not like pulled in by whatever you're trying to do, then it's hard for them to pay attention. So like Nipsey Hussle used to sing about, mental health or what he did for his community, and he told a story, but because he was like resonating with people who were listening to it, he was able to get his message across. So that's why, I have so much respect for people who are able to be who they are,
Mm-hmm.
be themselves, but then also like in their own way educate, like not the normal way of educating, but educate in a way where people like us can understand it, where we can really be like, oh, I feel what you're saying, So that's what Nipsey was so good at, because he was able to talk about like finances and how you can get your money right and talk about mental health. But he was saying it to people who had respect for him because how he carried himself. So it's all about making connections and doing it like in a quick time so people can be like, oh, I'm feeling this. And then they'll keep on following what you're doing. So I think you're on the right track.
Right. To me, like if anybody is like an athlete, like I used to think that all my professors kind of thought I was like slow, because everything that they try to explain to me, they would be like, let me use a sports analogy. So I'm like, damn, this motherfucker think I'm dumb. Like, but now I'm looking at it like, damn, well, if I use a sports analogy, like it'll make a complex situation like a little bit easier for me to understand. It basically like dumbs it down. So I
Yeah.
feel like through sports, through music, that makes like common ground for
Yeah.
people. If there's a divide, like you can always like find common ground.
Yeah, for real. And I bet like at the time, I felt the same, I'm sure, in plenty of situations when professors were like, they think you're not really serious about it because you're an athlete. So let me make
Yeah.
sure it's done for you. But when you think back, like some of those professors had really good intentions. Like if you don't
Yeah.
make it so I can understand, like obviously I wasn't raised like, crazy money or something. I wasn't raised like him. And so I wasn't in these private schools when I grew up. I wasn't in this route for education. So
Right.
you have to, as a good professor, be able to, skew your stuff so that your students who you're teaching can understand it, or else you're not doing your job. You're supposed to be teaching me. So teach me so I can understand. And that's like the whole problem with like critical race theories and stuff, where people don't really want to talk about that subject, but it's because it's going to expose that culturally we're different. So you got to do something to where we can be just as successful or more successful than people who we're competing with in the classroom. So
Mm. Mm. Critical race theory.
yeah.
I
I'm
think you got
about
to be a doctor to understand that. Become critical race theory. That's what's up. This is fun, man. I'm glad we got to do this. I'm definitely sorry that I'm late, like most
That's
men.
okay.
But yeah, this is fun. I'm definitely gonna get some copies of your book.
Please do.
You
And
got
let
any
me know what
questions
your
for
music.
me?
I mean, I would love to know more about like you asked me what I want to be doing in the near future, like in the next couple years. I'd love
Right.
to know like what you plan to do, or and like when
So
you do
I'm
want
real
to make
big
it.
into like theater, like the arts and stuff like that. So eventually I want to have like a play, a play that's like that just explains like Catch You on the Rebound, like from the moment like that my dad passed and just like watching like my whole evolution. Just like a
Yeah,
short play to just kind of like describe it all and just to kind of show my progression.
that would be dope.
And just that, just to continue to give people different ways to like resonate with like mental health, because it was so hard. Like the process of like becoming like emotionally intelligent is like a very it's very like strenuous. It's like a hard process because like it's a taboo in the community. Like sometimes the family don't want to talk about things, and like you feel like, damn, like, well, am I the only person that care about this? Like, and you kind of like sometimes you just want to quit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, just to continue to like be creative about it. And my ideal goal starting it was like Jimmy Fallon, like a night show like that, like Ellen Arsenio Hall.
Yeah.
Something like that. Which it'll happen, you know. Usually I believe in God, I believe in like prayer, manifestation, stuff like that, writing down your goals and stuff like that. So everything that I've ever like written down, like once I started to write it down and like pray on it and work, obviously, like action.
Yeah.
Every like seed that I've planted, like it's always brought something to fruition.
That's what's up.
Just to continue to do that. Like music is something that's like really big because it's like I'm like a storyteller. Like just naturally just like a storyteller. So every song that I do, it's like it's something there. Like it's something for you to like take away from every song that I do.
Yeah.
So just to continue to do
I've
stuff
heard.
like that.
I know you're good. I heard.
Relax.
So I got a question, like, do you have people in your circle that are doing things similar to you that could be like, you know, sometimes we tell ourselves we want to keep our circle small. So in some instances that's a good idea, but in others, like, it's good to expand out. So I wonder, like, if you have any people like maybe you idolize doing the same thing, or like you keep in contact with.
I mean, I read Charlemagne's book. And like his book, so he did his book with like several different therapists, and the therapist like broke down all of these different like clinical diagnoses. And so definitely him. Nick Cannon. Like people don't really give Nick Cannon a lot of credit, but like Nick Cannon is like he's making history. Like when we getting to live it and watch it and see what he's doing. I mean, you spoke about like Nipsey. That one was real weird for me because like every time he came to Dallas, like I went, and like the last time Victory Lap, he came to the House of Blues, and like people didn't know the words to like rap this shit back to him. Yeah. And like he could tell, and he got pissed off, and he just left. Like he probably was there for like 30 minutes. Like we waited an hour and a half, and like he was there, and like nobody was rapping this shit back to him, and he just did a couple of songs and he just dipped. But just like you say, like everything that he did, like selling his album, like his own physical album, charging $100 for it, charging $1,000 for it, like seeing him like from what he was, like for him to go to Africa, like he spoke about like how he went to Africa and like how that changed his perspective. I never been to Africa, but it's a lot of like Africans in sports, and just like through like talking to them, like being around them, eating their foods, like being an American, like the way they think about life and the way Americans think about life is like very different. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they're more like community based, they're more like family oriented, and that's just like something that I admire. Yeah. So just like there's people like that. People that are that's just not afraid to like just take risks, man. Yeah. I just like it. If the more something like scare me and intimidate me, the more that I like kind of like go towards it, you know.
That's great. That's like something that makes you expand. Like you could talk about like all the stuff. There's like studies on that too. When you get uncomfortable and get out of your comfort zone, then it makes it so you can expand to be better. So that's what's up for you to have that. That's the first step too. Like there's people that I work with in like the highest positions in my organization, and they're scared to go out the box. So it's like making it so they really can't do anything when they talk about like being creative or doing something to make a real change. Right. What do you do when you're just staying in your comfort zone? So that's what's up.
Yeah. So I'm always, and then I feel like people need to see somebody that's like not afraid to take risks. Like, like they don't know like what does it look like? Like what does it look like? Like sometimes people just need to see somebody do it before them, and then they kind of like feel like they can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's probably very few people that are successful that did not take a risk in their life. So
exactly, like almost everybody did. I always say like, don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness. That's a Drake line, but that's a Drake bar. But it's like it's true. It's true. Like it's true. Like,
it is true.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
Yeah,
so anybody in your smaller circle, to go a little further, like not just people that like you idolize that are famous, but do you have anybody in your closer circle that you look up to or do something similar to you?
Let's see. Do something similar to me. Ooh. It's so many. Like, and if I say one person, then another person is gonna be like, "Oh, damn, bro, you." Who can I talk about? This woman, Adrienne Ross. She's like a stylist, and she's not really like into mental health, but like just her persona, like who she is naturally like somebody that just she is like mental health. She's like, anytime I'm around her, like I feel better. I feel more confident about like what I'm doing, like on my purpose, on my journey and things like that. She don't like to be told no and stuff like that. She doesn't care about like reputation or stuff like that, like working with somebody just because they have a reputation and things like that. Like she's more so in tune to like what she want her brand to be and her vision and things like that. So that's one person. Like we talked yesterday. So Adrienne Ross. Yeah. Cool. Now you. Yeah. Yeah, now
do I have people?
Huh?
Oh, no, it's so sweet.
Come on, yeah. Nah, like think about that. Yeah. Like think about like how cool that is to like say, oh, yeah, like my friend is a doctor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of a big deal. No?
Thank you. Yeah.
It's a big deal. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So yeah.
This has been fun.
What else? So yeah, it's I'm in America until October.
Okay.
And like I already signed back. I'm gonna go back to Taiwan, and this will be year 6. And trying to go 10, like 10, 15 if God bless me. Like if God bless me. I don't, you know how it's all like based on your body.
Yeah.
So
you want to do 10 or 15 years playing still?
Yeah, I think my body hold up. Like
wow.
I wouldn't mind. As long as like I feel like it would be selfish of me, like if I had like a wife or something like that, and like she was starting her career and it's going in a different direction. I feel like it would be selfish of me to continue to do that. But like because I don't have kids, like
yeah, it's no reason not to. What if my body was holding up? I would be trying to play too.
Yeah, man. So like, thanks to God, you know what I mean. Like I'm still able to do that because like that teach me a lot too. Like every year going to a different country, like having to like adapt to another environment, like another mindset every year is like it's not like it used to be a hassle, and it used to like at one point like I quit twice. I got cut 3 times, and like getting cut is the worst feeling. It's the worst feeling in the world. It was like, damn, I gotta go back home. I gotta go back home and tell them I got cut right after I just told them like that I got signed. So just for like my ego, like pride, like all that shit was like broken, destroyed. And
that's a lot.
I just told myself, I was like, yo, like I'm gonna just give one more shot. I'm gonna like just try to be the best player I can be, and like just do it for the fun and like see what happened. And I did it. And even this year is like a huge testimony to me. Like we started the season, I missed 5 games. I get hurt like as soon as I get there.
Oh wow.
So we lose 10 in a row from the beginning of the season. Like we 0-10. Usually, you know, they cut the Americans, like blaming shit on Americans.
Right.
But they rolled with me. We finished the season better than we started. Like we won 7 of our last 11 games. So like it actually turned into like a positive. Like everything that I had wrote down, like all of my like season goals, my monthly goals, like I crossed every goal off my list. No matter like how small, like the shit got so bad. Like one of my goals was like to win 1 game, and my second goal was like to win 2 games, and like I had to do it like just looks like step by step.
Yeah, start small and get bigger.
Yeah, it was and then like once I finally got to that point, I was like, we would have like like team meetings, and then sometimes you get to a point to where like we having like too many team meetings, like we doing all this talking, but like nothing is happening. You know what I'm saying? Like one of my coaches told me, my first Italian coach, he was like, don't look around. Like sometimes like you just gotta like just lock in. Like it's nothing to be said. Like we all know like what we here to do. And I apply like basketball philosophy to my life. Like in everything that I do, I apply it. I try to know like what's gonna happen like on offense and defense, and I use that approach. Taiwan is it's like conservative, you know what I mean? Like they have things going on in like their country and like political. They have a lot of stuff going on. So like I tried to like be in tune with like what's going on there too. You know what I mean? And just see like how it affected them, how it affected their mindset, and like what like mental health is a taboo over there as well. You know what I mean? But like shit here, just like big ass basketball player that's like talking about mental health, like making that shit cool. You know what I'm saying? So it's there. It's always like anywhere I go, it's always like something there for me. I always know, and it's not like it's not monetary. Like it don't have nothing to do with basketball. It's always like a person that I meet. It's always like a situation that I can like impact in like every place I go. So I kind of like search for those things now.
That's what's up. So I bet like those bad times though that you went through, did that help for now? Like if you look back, do you always say like, I'm appreciative that I went through those hard times, like getting cut, or is it like you regret anything?
Nah, like you say, it's like it's a very like appreciative. But basically, like people can't like take losses no more. Like people just like nowadays, this day and age, like young kids, if they lose, like
so you trying to take off?
Like something bad happens, it's like the world is over. I'm like, man, it's hard, man. Like it's hard. Like it's all like your reaction. Like how do you perceive like what happened to you? It could be like the worst thing in the world. It could seem like the worst thing in the world, but like for what it's meant to teach you, it could actually be like the best thing in the world. You know what I mean? Like I can confidently say, like my dad dying, like it allowed me to like be myself. Like it allowed me to just like, damn, like I'm my mother's son, I'm my father's son, like I'm a sister and my brother, but like nah, like I'm me. I'm also like me. You know what I mean? And like finding my identity and stuff like that. That was like the highlight of my life. It's like waking up in a new body. Like who is this?
Yeah.
You know what
but
I mean?
That's huge though for you to be able to say that and communicate that, because like you talk about mental health and like that's people go through losses all the time, but you just said it like it's about your perception of what you take from that loss. So like you've turned it around to not be like, so I'm sure sometimes you get sad, but like when you think about your whole self, like you become a better person and you can say that outwardly, like that can help somebody so much who's been through something similar, and a lot of people have losses. So, and a lot of people are athletes who need assistance. So I feel like if that's your calling, you should keep going after it because you have a story that'll help so many people.
From the doctor. yeah, man. Definitely. We had the first team meeting and everybody was like kind of going around. Mind you, this is like everybody speaking Chinese, and then this is translated kind of like telling you a little bit of what everybody's saying, and I'm like, that's another thing. That's another thing,
right?
Like,
you probably feel like you're on an island by yourself.
But listen to this though. So language is always a barrier overseas, right? And it's in Asia, there's like a translator. But think about it, like me and you, like we both speak English, right? But like if I'm into trapping and like you going like you're trying to be a doctor, like we speak a different language.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like even people who speak the same language don't speak the same language.
That's very
So
true.
you know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
all about like what's important to you. You know what I'm saying? If it's like if what's important to me is not important to you, then nah, we don't speak the same language.
Right.
So
That's
it
so
like the language barrier. It wasn't a big deal for me. Like it wasn't that big of a deal once I looked at it from like that perspective. Cause
that's what's up.
I like to talk like how we talking, but like when I feel like I hated like I always hated like lectures when like the coach would go on and talk for like 2 hours or like every player get to say. I always like hated that because I felt like it didn't really like do nothing in my
Yeah.
opinion. So
Yeah.
the
You
first
feel like
team
it's all
meeting,
kind of fluff.
it's all kind of like fluff. So
Yeah.
the first team meeting, I think I said like one sentence, and then everybody looked at me like, "Damn, bro, like that's all you got to say, like for real." And then like later in the season, I was like, "God damn!" Like most of the players on the team was like kind of young. Everybody expected us to like do bad because of that.
Yeah.
And I saw like my teammates were just like, they was just beating themselves up at like every little thing. And I'm like, bro, like I don't judge myself off the wins and losses. Like I judge myself like off the fact that I'm still playing. Like I judge myself off the fact that like every day I wake up and I still get to do this shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
wins and losses don't really mean nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when I said that, and that was at the point of the season where it was like we was either gonna like tank and just like let everybody play, or we was gonna try to make a push for the playoffs. And like
Yeah.
we did. Everybody just kind of like bought in. Like a rookie got like rookie of the year. Like everybody got like shared of the fruits of the labor, I guess.
See, that's what I mean, though. That's what we were just talking about. Sometimes it just takes one person saying something. You know what I mean? Like you said it, and then they were like, "Oh, damn, I never thought about it like that." But it maybe takes one person, one teammate to just say something that resonates with you, and it could change your whole experience for so long. But a lot of people just don't say nothing. Like it's like, I'm gonna just look at you. I'm gonna let you suffer.
Nah,
But all
sometimes
it took
it's
was
always a time opportunity to say something.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
yeah, man.
So are you close to your teammates, even though they don't speak the same language? You think you're close to them?
Yeah, like we're because I see myself in all of them. I see like everybody had their strengths and weaknesses, right? So anything that they felt like they lacked or that they struggle with, like I felt the same way. I was like, I see myself and like whatever you going through, I've been through that, or like I might have to go through that. So like I saw a lot of myself in them. Like when I was like, think about when you're young and you start playing basketball, and then you get around better players and you're like, damn, like hold on, like something is different about them. Like
Right.
you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
it's like small things like mentality that is the gap. Because like when you playing pro, everybody good, everybody big, everybody fast. Like, well, damn, like how do I make myself different? It's like the shit that's not on the court. It's like the mind game, like up here.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like I pride myself on like my mind is just as strong as my game. So like it's just can you outlast me? Like that's all.
Has there ever been like a book or something? Like I feel like you could
I
write
read
a
a
book.
lot though. Okay, I tell you. So I study like war. So Tupac actually mentioned this book. It's called The Prince. And it's by Machiavelli, and it's like it's like a strategy book.
Yeah.
It's like a little small blue book, and it talks about like how like everybody that was in a position of power, like a king, a president, or anybody like that, like everything that they dealt with, whether they were successful or not, like how the people treated them, like what did they do to try to like be in favor of the people. It's good. It's good. It's called The Prince.
Okay. I gotta read that one.
Yeah, it's just I read like strategy books, and then sometimes I just like The Alchemist. I'll read a book that's just like a journey, like a cool story, something like that. But yeah, definitely. I study like strategy and like war. I feel like business is war. I feel like everything is a little, it's all like competition and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, like, would you ever write a book?
I need to.
Like,
What do I say? I'm not orderly. You know what I mean?
You don't have to be you can hire somebody to actually type it for you, and you just tell them your story, and they'll make it sound good for you. Okay. Like, think about if you could tell somebody the story of, like, you know, all these companies and stuff are going through trying to figure out all this stuff with, like, the issues of, like, diversity and inclusion and, like, making sure there's, like, equal opportunity for everybody. Okay. You just said that, like, if you can have a relationship with your teammate from a whole different country, and sometimes we can be speaking the same language, but really we're not because we're doing two separate things. Like, that's like a great analogy on how you could say, like, even if you guys are completely different, it's so many things we have in common, and I can see me and you. Like, that would be huge to hear from, like, your perspective as a overseas player. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. I will, let's see. I will confirm that I will start.
You should do it.
I've been procrastinating. Yeah, I feel like it's all out of order. I got a lot of stuff that I could use, but it's like, it's not in order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it. All you got to, you start off with, like, a little timeline of your life, and then you just put those top items, like the big moments in your life, lay those moments out, and then put, like, little things as, like, the subtopics of those bigger topics, and then you just start filling information under those big moments in your life that you could think about. And then you start having a book that comes together after you, like, write out what the big moments are in your life.
Okay. I think I would.
I mean, I know that's
something. I think an audio book would be a lot easier.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people like audiobooks now. Like, people were telling me to do my book in audio because they're
you should. Yeah. I love audiobooks.
I don't like my voice.
You don't like audio?
I don't like my voice.
You don't like your voice?
Not on the audio.
What? Like your own voice, like,
it doesn't sound like
you gonna go to the? What, you gonna go change it?
No,
you gonna put auto-tune? Like, what you gonna do? Like, that's what you stuck with.
No, I'm saying, like, I can get somebody that sounds better with reading kids.
Oh, you would have somebody else read your own book?
Yeah.
I would never.
Yeah, wow. You have, like, a deep voice for a man. I don't, like, you have to have, like, a really nice, like, a friendly voice to read kids' books. Like, you know what I mean? I think I can get a better voice to read my book. You don't think so?
Nah. It's that's what I hate when I buy a book on Audible and somebody.
See, people saying I don't like my voice either. Look, they agreeing with me.
They weak.
She said mine's really deep. I'm a girl.
Man, nobody care. Was that a kill? Nah, I don't think nobody cares. It's not that big of a deal. Your voice is like, it's like a artist or a musician. Like, some of them, you just like their natural voice.
That's true. Yeah. In some cases, it's better. You should do your own for sure. For your bio, you should do yours.
Okay. I'm gonna hold myself to that. You can be my accountability partner.
Yes, I'll make sure you're doing it.
For sure. Check in with my doctor. To make sure that I'm. Is that what's up with Kill? Oh damn! I ain't even been watching this. I have not been watching that shit at all. They showing love though. I can't fucking name everybody. I'm not even gonna try to do that shit. I can't do it. I can't do it. I will too. Okay. Yeah. What's he talking about? A book. Yeah. It's gonna be called Catch You on the Rebound. Everything is just gonna be Catch You on the Rebound. It keeps everything safe.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Damn, my mom on here. What's up, mom?
Oh, hi.
Yo, so, okay, Tech. Yo, we used to go to, do you remember Ruby Tequilas?
That was my spot.
Do you remember Ruby Tequilas?
Yeah.
So, my mom could eat Mexican food, like, every day. You know what I mean? Like, she could eat that shit every day. So, every time they would come down, we would go to Ruby Tequilas. I'm talking about, like, we lit in there. Breaking plates, like we just have a good time, you know what I'm saying? Like a bunch of shots, and that was like a vivid memory. That's like one of the things that I miss, like just my whole family being down there. Everybody would come down there, and we just get towed up. We just have a good time.
I think they closed that down.
Yeah, no, it's not there no more.
That's crazy. I went to go visit. Yeah, I was like, I'm for sure going to Ruby's.
Yeah.
And I went over there and it was closed, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of sad.
Yeah. The one shit from the pictures, like I doubt that I would even recognize Lubbock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From what I've seen. Yeah.
It's way different. And then facilities, I'm a little jealous, but they deserve it.
But you built it. You can't be jealous though.
I know. I'm just saying. I would have loved to be able to, you know, play in there, and you see that area where they could just chill. The families could go. It's so nice.
Are you like all the way removed from basketball, like coaching, all of that? You just removed. You done?
I could never. I don't think. No, I love it too much. Even though he said I couldn't play all the time, like, you know, I try to go play pickup or whatever. So I love playing pickup, but it's normally with like all boys. So I don't play hella hard because I'm not trying to get injured out there. It's like, you know, you go to the gym and you play pickup, and they normally don't know what they're doing all the way. So I don't want to get injured, but I go play. And then my daughter just started playing for this YMCA team. That's where I started at YMCA, and she was supposed to play, and another coach was going to coach her, but it was no coaches. So now I'm going to be coaching my daughter, which I didn't plan. See?
See? I bet you like it. I promise you, I bet you like it. I coached some kids one time, man. That shit was hard. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was hard.
How old were they?
Man, 6th, 7th grade. Like,
6th, 7th grade. That's good.
Yeah, it was hard. It's hard. But
they were serious at that age, though, right?
I don't think I would want to coach. I put it like that.
Did the parents used to get mad at you?
I don't have no time for parents. I'm sorry. Don't even. I don't know. I will not coach. I don't have that patience. Yeah, I don't.
With the refs, the coaches.
Yeah, it's hard enough dealing with it as a player. Like,
right.
I would rather not. Yeah.
Especially, I'm not trying to hear it. I'm trying to win. So if I got to keep in my 5, y'all gonna be mad.
Come on, like, you know what time it is. Like, give them the ball. Like, set the screen, get out the way. Like, come on. We trying to. You know how our coaches was. They just trying to win. Like, nobody care what that shit look like. So.
Right. Yeah, that's funny.
Casey Morris.
Yeah. That's crazy. I could just tell you just from speaking with you, like, you are you have grown so much in a positive way. So it's not like it was anything different when you were always so sweet to everybody, but you know, I could just tell your confidence level and how you carry yourself. I'm proud of you, so keep it up.
Yeah, that feels good. I'm gonna take that in real quick. Well, yeah, so I mean, same to you. Like, you're an author, like, yeah, doctor. I'm gonna keep reminding you on that one. Like, that's a really big deal, yo. Definitely, how you say, from like minorities. Yeah, that's a really big deal. How long did that take?
It took me like probably like 5 years.
5 years, like with after you had already graduated?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot.
I ain't got it. That's what's so.
Yeah, but it was worth it. Your life. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna ever go back to school again. But no.
Like, well, how much further up can you go past like doctorates?
PhD is the farthest up.
You go.
So.
That's dope, man. Yeah. That's what's up.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, you done kind of, I'm never really speechless, but I kind of, all of the points we wanted to talk about, I feel like we discussed. Yeah.
It was a good talk. I'm happy we did this, and we should do it again because it was good. Okay.
I'm down. Just let me know. Like, now we got each other contact information. Like, clearly, like, somebody was listening to it.
Oh, yeah. They're all on there. I appreciate you guys. Hi.
Yeah, man. Y'all, okay, where can we find your book? Is there a link in your bio?
Yeah, there's a link in my bio for my book. So it's on Amazon, and it's on Target, it's on Barnes & Noble, and then I have a link tree, which is linked in my bio. And on that link tree, you can also find my blog. I have a blog for like life after sports for student athletes. So if anybody wants that resource, they can always look at it, find it. And this is how the book looks. It's called The Playground Queen. It's a kid's book.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's what's up.
Hope you guys enjoy it.
All right. So, like, to finish, like what you said, what you know now, like if you can go back and like speak to like yourself when like you were at that age, when like you were an athlete, like what would you say to yourself?
When I was in college, an athlete?
Yeah.
I like really love this question because I always get, and I think that for me it would be that, you know, you have to just stay true to yourself. So it was like so many, you laughing at the
Yeah, I'm like now I can see the comments.
Yeah. I think like when I was a student athlete, I used to be so worried about like what the coaches were saying or, you know, what other people were saying and thinking about how I can please people. I was a people pleaser. And I wish I would have been able to stay true to myself because you have so much stress and pressure on your own self when you're playing in sports. And sometimes you just have to take the time to reflect on what the future is going to be, even though we're younger and we don't really think about that kind of stuff. But really stay true to myself, remember what I started for. So it was fun to me. It was my passion. So remembering that and then understanding that like a loss or like having a bad game is not the end of the world because you have so much life after sports. So just thinking bigger, I guess I would say, even though that's hard to do because you're young, but I wish I would have been able to do that and have that mental health awareness like you talk about.
That's what's up. That's dope. Dr. Casey Morris. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Appreciate your time. I think it's great, like, what you're doing. Like, you're author, you're a doctor. Can't really say enough about you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This was so fun. Thank you for having me.
No doubt, no doubt.
Thank you, everyone.
So, yeah, I got to finish with my little, this is like my slogan. So it's, nobody want to hear about mental health, but that's okay. Get lost in the lifestyle, but where's the exit out the maze? But don't act like I ain't say nothing. Till you face what's in the mirror, what's leaving is always coming. So really, what's the point of running? Catch you on the replay. Yeah.
Okay,
Yo, chill. You gotta chill. Yeah. Thank you. And I'll hit you up after this.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.